Oh my God.
Yeah, you're up first. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys all for coming. Hi, Ashley, nice to see you. At the back table, if you guys haven't done yet, we do have a raffle going on with some awesome buckets and a rack raffle also. But thank you guys for coming. We are going to kick it off
real quick.
Yeah.
So the give back that we're doing today is to the Pendleton Outfitters, and what it is, it's a building. Two malls put it together. I think it was like in 2005 or 2008. They help give school clothes for kids in the community that don't have enough clothes. So I thought that was a perfect one to start out with. I think we've talked that we're going to start, we love the big indie meetings, but we also know with life and families, sometimes it is hard to get there. I still think you need to try your best, but we used to do these more often. Back then, we kind of just got away from it because we were struggling with is too many meetings. But I thought, you know, they actually scheduled it and said, do you want to join? I said, yes, let's get back to this. I'm thinking at least every other month. And then we will be picking different give backs. So if you guys ever have an idea or something that is really close to your heart that you would like to bring up, we would love to hear it. And then maybe we could choose your guys' give back. Sound good?
Yep.
And then we are going to be recording this. So the list that we have and the people that have talking, there's going to be some really, really good stuff. It's probably going to be, 2 hours. So just stress to your team once we post it to truly, truly watch it, even though it's long, because it's going to be good. So. Okay.
Yay. Okay.
All right. First off, I wanted to talk about conference with you guys, okay? In the upcoming couple of months, you're going to be hearing a lot about conference and the importance of getting there, and I cannot stress this enough. Start saving now for your tickets, start saving now for your flights, your hotels, whatever you need to do. But I can tell you that if you're ready to take your business to a whole nother level, you have to be you got to go. You have to be there. There is nothing like it. And I can tell you personally that it was my aha moment. It was, I've never laughed, cried, been so emotional in my life. And I left there with such a fire and such a, I'm doing this and no one's going to stop me. And that's how you'll feel when you leave there. Obviously, another bonus, added bonus is if they, like we hope, maybe announce bonuses again, there's nothing like being in that room when they do that. It's incredible. Sarah came with me last year, and she had joined the company. She had joined me. Sarah and I have been friends since college. She joined my team. She has a full-time job, and she works a crazy amount of hours. So she joined my team and kind of right away got a promotion, I think. Anyway, she'll tell you that story. But conference really was a pivotal turning point for her business, and I'll let her tell you about that.
Yeah. 2 seconds, as Jess said. You want to get to conference, take our word for it now. And if funds are of concern for you, well, BOGO wraps are right now. So maybe make some wrap cash, order some BOGO wraps, sell yourself some wraps, and use those funds for conference, right? So my story is I joined Jess shortly after she had joined the business. I will be honest with you, I was always that person, whether it was It Works or 31 or LuLaRoe or whatever the multi-level marketing company was. When someone invited me even to a party, I was kind of like begrudging, like, ooh, like I felt like, yeah, I'm gonna go, but I don't want to buy anything. So the fact that Jessica was joining the company and really excited, I was definitely watching her. I had been a loyal customer from someone else for well over a year. And so she joined me, and the time that Jessica messaged me, I was actually with my husband. We were up north at one of our at our rental property, and so last year bought our dream home, and then we had a tenant of 5 years move out of our rental property, so we were up there, and he had done major damage to this rental property. So where I'm going with that is last year we did not take a vacation, and we typically go to like an all-inclusive. And so with the finances that we were putting into houses, we decided to forego a vacation. So that was kind of like, for me, when Jessica messaged me, she was like, oh my gosh, like it's so fun and it's insane, like the people that are just joining me and whatever. And I thought, you know what, if I just make a couple $100 a month, and that will pay for us to go on vacation once a year, then that's worth it to me. Like, I get to work with Jess. I love her. Like, why not? So I came into this business with very low expectations. I will admit that. For me personally, it wasn't something we necessarily needed, but it was something that I thought, you know what, if I just do it a little bit, we can get a vacation out of it, why not? So then shortly after I had joined Jess, I joined, I think, in October of last year. And shortly after I joined, I got put on a pretty big project with my employer where I was working 60 roughly hours a week. And I work downtown Indianapolis, but I live in Anderson. So it's a pretty long commute. And to be honest, I didn't get my Ruby bonus. I really wasn't working my business. I would do it here or there. Like, I got customers pretty easy in the beginning, but honestly, in the beginning, Jess was doing a lot of helping me. And right after I joined the business is when they announced conference. I think it was my first Sunday family call is when they announced. And I was like, oh, like,
She sent me a message and goes,
conference.
"We're going to Florida, right?"
I guess we're doing this, right? Like, I just joined and we're going to conference. This is what we do, right? And so I had bought my ticket. I think I stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning because, of course, the site was like going bananas with everyone trying to buy their ticket. So I stayed up really late so I could get my ticket, and I was very excited. But again, and then the months coming, I kind of just fizzled and wasn't excited. So when conference came around in February, I honestly did not want to go. Keeping it real. I was too busy. I had too much going on. I did not want to go, but I had also already bought my ticket, and I just felt obligated to be there with Jessica. And I know this sounds terrible as I'm saying it, guys. I'm getting over it. I promise. You're like, why is she talking to us about going to conference? So I get to conference, and it was honestly mind-blowing. I had two major kind of aha moments. Oh, this is where I'm gonna get emotional. Sorry. My why, as I said to you guys, was to make $200 to $300 a month to pay for a vacation. And while that's cool, and if those are your aspirations, that's totally fine. But being at conference made me have higher expectations of myself. While we watch Brittany and Jessica and Trista and Alyssa and Tiffany and all these people and see their success, and we think, wow, that's amazing. I didn't think it was fake. I never believed for myself that that was something I would have or that I was really trying to achieve. But at conference, I realized that A, I could do that, and that B, my why wasn't to go to Cancun. My why was because I want the greatest currency of all, which is the currency of time. Like, I have to pay my mother-in-law to pick up my daughter from school, and I work hard. I have a great job, but I don't have a lot of time, and I don't have a lot of freedom, and that is so valuable. So if you're not thinking about those things, or if you don't want more, dig a little bit deeper, because I guarantee you your why is bigger. You may just not realize it yet. You may not know it yet, but I promise you that this opportunity can do amazing things for you. And then the second aha moment I had at conference was that we are blessed to be a blessing. For some of you that might be new, you might feel like you're annoying people or bugging them by messaging or by posting, or you might have people outright tell you that you're annoying them or bugging them. We say this all the time, like, they don't pay your bills. Yes, I get that. But you have to realize that those messages and those posts, you're reaching people, and you don't know whose life you could literally be saving with this business. You really are blessed to be a blessing. This opportunity and the stories you hear from people at conference and the inspiration that you will receive, whether it's from, and it's not just the business. We hear amazing product stories that have turned things around. Someone's child, it did amazing things for. So get to conference. There's nothing more inspiring than being in front of a convention center full of people that are like-minded and ambitious and believe in this company, and they believe in you. And this really is one team, one mission. It's a family atmosphere. And I tell you what, we literally are.
And it was so fun, too.
Well, it was so fun. But driving around with, we had, Eli and Brittany and her husband and Trista and Jess and myself, and we have a couple more people. We were just driving to conference every day in a Tahoe, I think, packing in there like sardines, listening to
laughing about
crazy
really
music
ridiculous
and
things.
maybe a few inappropriate levels. I don't know, but Eli and I might like to challenge each other on who can be more inappropriate. But really crossed the line a few times. So, but really, it's very inspiring to be surrounded by so many people, and we truly are blessed to be a part of this team. The Indianapolis team is full of amazing people who truly do want to help lift you higher. We don't compete with each other; we complete each other. So,
And after that, sitting here today, Miss Sarah is started for Diamond for this month. Get to conference.
Tell us about our new product. He's our product guru.
whoa.
Okay, I'm going to go a little off topic at first, but I'll swing back around. It'll be full circle. But this is something that I keep getting on my team, so I know other people are having the same issues either personally or you're getting the same questions from your downline. Okay, you're going to the drugstore, you have a head cold, you feel like garbage, you walk down the aisle that says cough and flu or whatever, and what do you see? 38 different products for the same symptoms. And you're just like, I don't know, I just have a runny nose and a headache. Okay, so think about you're watching TV and how many different commercials are there for depression medications? A ton. I could do this all day. So with prescription medications, there are a ton of different medications for one problem. And that is because not everything works for every person every time. So I'm going to say that again. Not everything works for every person every time. And I've heard Pam Souter say that on a call before. You have to have that same mindset with our products. You have to realize that it kind of sucks, but these aren't magical products. So not everything is going to work for every person every time. And I think that's a really, really important topic or thought to think when new products come out. So when you joined the company, which all of us, it's been 2 years or less, there were the wraps, and they've been around for 15 years, so there were endless testimonies of people that it's worked for. Well, when a new product comes out, there's not. So say you sign up 10 loyal customers for a new product. 8 people it's going to work great for, 2 people it's not. So you have a choice whether you can focus on those 2 people that's going to place a little morsel of doubt in your head, and then your business is going to spiral. Or you can say, handle those people with kid gloves because some people are irate. It's a scam. They're just not reasonable. And that sucks, but it's just how some people do it. They want the refund. You tricked them. You handle those people with kid gloves, but don't sit there and focus. Don't unpack your bag and sit in negative land. You have to focus and work with your 8 people who are like, oh my gosh, I love that. What am I going to try next month? So I think that's something really important, especially with new products, just to know that you are going to have people that it's not going to work for. And that's nothing wrong with the business, the products, you or them. It's just not everybody's body is the same. So I think that's really important. Another thing is kind of on the same topic is I was listening to a call the other day and it said you can only have one dominant thought on any topic in your life. So think about everything going on in your life. You can only have one dominant thought about it in your head. And that thought can either be positive or negative. So you can either think about all the distributors that are quitting your team, and you can unpack your bag and live there, or you can change your thought process and think about all the distributors that you're going to sign in the future. That same thing goes for loyal customers. You can think about the 8 that it's working really well for, or you can focus and let doubt creep in and then watch your business and yourself spiral. Because as soon as you start doubting the products, you're going to doubt the business, and then you're going to doubt yourself, and then you've got nothing left in your business. So make sure that your one dominant thought on any product or any topic is a positive one. So that's what I wanted to go there. And then I'm going to talk about the newer products now. But I just wanted you guys to be, I see this a lot. And I think a lot of people on my team have quit because they've had 3 people that are like, it didn't work. You tricked me. It didn't work. And they're like, oh my gosh, it didn't work. I did trick them. I'm tricking myself. This is a scam. What have I got myself into? And then they're not answering your calls and they don't post anymore. And then they're gone forever. You see, like one little morsel of doubt or negativity will ruin your whole business. So you have to remember to be positive and focus on the positivity. Now, I'm not saying the people who it doesn't work for you are just like, okay, you know what, never mind, thanks. Like you have to, you know, deal with them. And we are in a customer service setting and you signed up for customer service. So you have to give them the best that you are able to, but don't unpack your bag and focus on that. You have to focus on the other people. So the Cleanse, I have kind of a lot of information about it because it's a really, really cool product actually. So the Cleanse is different than regular, which you all know. You know, you drink 1 bottle of Cleanse before breakfast and 1 before dinner for 2 days. So regular helps support colon function. The Cleanse helps support the detoxification and cleaning out of your colon. So they're different, really different products. So the Cleanse helps to reset and rebalance your whole system because a lot of your immunity and mental clarity, a lot of it, studies are showing that it's coming from your gut health. And so it really helps to reset, rebalance, get rid of brain fog. It's very, very gentle. And the reason why it's gentle is because the prebiotic in the herbal blend breaks down really slowly. It sinks down to a deep cellular level and breaks down really slow. So there's no urgency effect. There are 2 blends in the Cleanse that make it work. So there's the herbal blend and the nutritional blend. The herbal blend, it has the blue agave extract and the aloe vera leaf extract. And those help to nourish the microflora. The microflora of you have it all over your body in different organs, but what I'm talking about is in your intestines. And micro just means microscopic, and flora means a living organism. So bacteria, algae, and fungus. There are lots of different strands and strains of all of those things in your intestines. And there's a natural balance between good bacteria and bad bacteria. When your bad bacteria is greater than your good bacteria is when you start having symptoms like an infection or, you know, bloating, diarrhea, those, you know, uncomfortable things. That's when you know that your balance is really off. So this helps to clean out your colon and rebalance the good and bad bacteria. And then the nutritional blend is 25 different foods, botanical extracts, and concentrates to help support liver detoxification function. It helps your liver work better, but it doesn't detox for your liver, if that makes sense. So it helps your liver function a little more efficiently, I guess I should say. So, this one, the nutritional blend also supplements your body with some extra vitamins and minerals on the cellular level of your colon. So that's where most of your absorption happens between your small intestines and your colon. So that's a really good place to help add, you know, nutritional value with the vitamins and minerals. So that's all I have for the Cleanse. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, moving on. So the new greens is technically called the greens blend. That's how you like in the.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
about this. It's exactly what she talked about was going to work for different people different ways. Is that a lot of people aren't going to see weight loss with the Cleanse.
We're actually not even supposed to promote weight loss with the Cleanse because even though you can't see, like, my belly didn't get flatter or I didn't go to the bathroom a lot, it's still working. So it'll still be helping. If you have eaten fast food and junk food and pop and anything else for years and years and years and years, you're not going to take 2 bottles of Cleanse and it's all going to go away. Like, it took time to get to where you are. It's going to take time to help that clean out. So yeah, not everyone is going to see weight loss. Not everyone is going to go to the bath. I didn't go to the bathroom at all. But I did notice a lot of my bloat was gone. but I didn't even weigh myself because we're not supposed to advertise it like that. So even though they don't see results, it is still working. And you can do like one every week for a month, and then that should help more too. So the greens blend is new. The biggest thing I think to say about this is there is no probiotic in it. That's why we have the probiotic pill. I had a lot of loyal customers who were irate about this, and I had no idea what to say because I was like, oh, they felt tricked, like they're having to buy 2 products now instead of 1, which I got that at first. But then if you think about it, now that they've made it gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, vegan, and non-GMO, that really opened up our market to a lot more people. So instead of keeping it the same and leaving all these people out, to make it the best product that they could, unfortunately, they had to take the probiotic out. So then they made a probiotic supplement. So really they were, being kind, I guess you should say. So with that being said, the greens is allergy-free with no soy, no dairy, no gluten. It is vegan and non-GMO certified. So you do 2 scoops, just like the old greens, the greens blend. You do 2 scoops with 8 ounces of juice or water, and avoid it 3 to 4 hours before bed, because this one now has the green tea extract in it, so it does have a little bit more of a pick you up than the old one did, and so it might keep you awake at night, which is why they say to avoid it before bed. So to balance the pH and lower the pH, or raise the pH, they have is acid-fighting magnesium and potassium. Those 2 supplements just work in your body to balance out your pH. There are 52 herbs and superfoods in this one, which is more than the old one. And there's 34 fruits and veggies. Like I said, the green tea extract is new, and there are no artificial flavors or colors. They really stepped their game up with this one. I'm really impressed, actually, because of the no artificial flavors or colors. The berry does contain stevia. Now, that's really important to remember because some people may, even though it's plant-based sweetener, stevia people are still sensitive to it. So that's really something, if somebody's like, oh, I want to get berry, you do need to mention that. It's technically an artificial sweetener, but it comes from a plant, so it's not man-made. But some people their GI is still, or they get headaches or whatever. So I think it's definitely just a nice thing to mention to people. Any questions? No, it's just in the berry to make it like a sweeter berry flavor. So I have a few people. Do what? No, just from what comes from the fruits and vegetables. So that one, I have a few people who are very sensitive to stevia as my loyal customers, and they get the orange and they do just fine because it doesn't have anything in it. So the berry does.
Didn't you drink the orange?
Yeah.
And have you compared it from the old to the new yet?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that the new orange is a lot sweeter. So people that did like the berry but don't want the stevia, they like the orange now because of the sweeter, because it's the new one.
There's a lot more, like I said, with the 54 superfoods and the 34 fruits and vegetables, those numbers are up from the old blend.
So when we used to,
Good.
we used to say it's like 8 servings of fruits and vegetables, is it still kind of the same breakdown?
We technically were never really supposed to put an amount on.
Okay.
We're supposed to say multiple servings of fruits and vegetables. 8 was, I don't even really know where 8 came from.
I
don't
know
know
what you're
either.
saying.
So in comparison, I would say it's more, but I wouldn't say like we could say, oh, now it's 10.
I would say 34 different fruits and vegetables, because that number came from the product printout from eSweet. So anything, and if you guys didn't know, those product printouts that you find in your document library is Product Coach. So if you printed all of those out, you would have like a paper copy of Product Coach with all the questions and answers and everything. So I don't know if a lot of people know that. Super green, so of course I have it all printed out. So, no. But that's what I would say in my poster when you're talking to people. I would say 34 fruits and vegetables because it just came from eSweet. So you can't go wrong with what they give you.
I wanted to add something
Mhm.
about probiotics. So with the probiotics being taken out of the green blend, because I had gone to Product Coach about that, because people wanted to know exactly what parts per billion and things were in that. So we have 10 billion live cultures that are in the probiotic, and I want to say, I was looking for the documented email. I think it was either 300,000 or 3 million. It was a very small amount that was actually in the greens, where the effects from that would be like almost very hard to notice compared to what they will do with the probiotic.
Yes, absolutely. I noticed that too, because it was said on one of the leadership pages one time about how much were in the greens, and I noticed how small. It was like a fraction of what you would even just go to CVS and buy as a probiotic and get results from. So, any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
The product coach, I don't think still says, does it say that it's gluten-free? I don't remember.
It does. At the bottom, they're not certified yet to say gluten-free. But at the bottom, there's a question that says, is this gluten-free? And it says all ingredients are made from gluten-free ingredients or something to that effect. I think they're waiting on licensing and certifications to be able to say, hey, this is gluten-free, but it is worded tricky in the product coach or on the product handout where it says all ingredients are gluten-free.
Barley grass.
It depends on what part of it that it comes from, though.
And it should, sorry.
No, go ahead. You are the
expert.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to say like I'm not like I'm a meeting with, product coach, but I'm celiac, so I have to watch everything super careful, and I'm a super strict celiac, and I know with the way that the government's put into regulation, anything that doesn't, anything that may contain has to be labeled now. So if it did contain, anything like that, I know wheat's one of the things that would have to be labeled. Barley's different, but anything, I think with the barley grass, most things do test under the parts per million. They're just, I think they launched it before they got certified. So I've been drinking it and everything's fine. But yeah, I mean, is it technically certified yet? No, it's not. But there's no, the cross-contamination usually would be stated on there if it was potentially cross-contaminated. So. Well,
and gluten is such a particular size that you could sift it out, which is like how Cheerios are gluten-free now. It's a specific size, so when they have all their grains, they sift it through a sifter where everything goes through but the gluten. Like whatever parts of the grains are gluten, they stay behind, which is how Cheerios are gluten-free. What? I don't have it memorized. It was on the commercial, and then I looked it up. So that's how Cheerios. Okay. So the probiotic is a capsule, and you do one a day with a meal. It may be added, like opened up. You can open up the capsule, twist it open, and the powder can be added to a cool drink or food. If you put it in something warm or hot, or you let it sit in the car, you're going to kill the probiotic. Once it's wet or once it mixes with your stomach, it becomes a living organism. It's dormant while it's there. And don't leave your capsules in the car either. And try to get them out of your mailbox in a reasonable amount of time. So it is kind of sensitive, but it has to be mixed into a cool drink or food, nothing warm or hot. So everybody that was drinking your greens in a tea, you were just kind of, killing the probiotic. But that's okay. If you like the taste in tea, go right ahead. So, no, but if you had a really sensitive stomach, maybe, but not if you drink it in tea. Okay, so the difference between our probiotic and most probiotics is it works in the small and large intestines. Most do not. Most work in one or the other. So that's a really, really awesome part of our product. The probiotic is 5 different strains of 10 billion live cultures. It supplies good bacteria to counterbalance the bad. It decreases the pH, creates a healthy balance. So this is all about, bad bacteria really lives well in an acidic environment. Good bacteria lives well in an alkaline environment. So you really want to be more alkaline with your organs and stuff. And since 70% of your immunity is from your intestines, it's really important to keep those healthy. And so with decreasing the pH, it makes the good bacteria flourish, and then increasing your immunity to, potential diseases. So this has a probiotic and a prebiotic. Generally, like a simple way to remember a prebiotic is a carbohydrate that your body does not break down, but the good bacteria in your intestines does. That's just kind of a simple way to remember it. So the prebiotic feeds the probiotic in the small and the large intestines. The prebiotic is made up of spinach, kale, and watercress. I have no idea what that was. It's an aquatic plant that kind of looks like cilantro. If you want to know. So, and then there's a fiber that feeds the good bacteria in the large intestines only, which targets, the good bacteria in the large intestines. And that's really important because that's where a lot of constipation issues come from, is in your large intestines. So most of your absorption happens in your small intestines, and then constipation happens in your large intestines. So the more fiber that is targeted to your large intestines, that's a really good thing. So then you can go more regularly, and then you're healthier. So, any questions? That was so sweet. Oh my gosh. Any questions on the probiotic? Nope. Okay, moving on. So I'm just doing a really, really generic overview of the oils. If you go into your eSuite and print out the oil information packet, it's amazing. Pictures and diagrams and graphs, it's really awesome. So you print that out and it covers all of them. So the oils that we currently have are Chill, Boom, Defend, Clear. Those come in a pack. And then lavender, lemon, eucalyptus, and tea tree oil. There are a ton of uses for these. You can look them up all over online. They don't really say a whole lot in eSuite or whatever, like more uses you can use them for, because that's not really our thing. We're not really, I would say we're probably not licensed to talk about things like that. One thing that I have seen a couple people post, and it seriously makes my skin crawl: never ingest our oils. They are 100% pure, and they could do horrible things to your insides, because think about, people have rashes on their skin from putting the oils directly without diluting them. You don't know what it's going to do to your insides because it's way more sensitive. So please, please don't tell people to put the lemon essential oils in their water and drink it. That could really be harmful for someone, and you have no idea how sensitive, or if they already have the start of an ulcer, what this could do to their insides. So please just stick to the rules on this one. Break whatever else rules you want, but stick to the rules on this one, because you could really hurt somebody by mentioning this. And if you do it and you want to keep doing it, that's fine. If that's up to you. Okay, so the way that we can use these are we can diffuse them. So they're 100% pure and organic. So they're not cut with water or vegetable oil. They are very concentrated. So I have a diffuser, because I've used oils for years, and I have a diffuser that's a lot bigger than the 50 ml diffuser that It Works sell, and I only use 2 to 3 drops of oils in my 200 ml diffuser. So a little goes a really, really, really long way. So you can use them topically on your hands, your wrists, your feet. You can put them behind your ears, but I really do suggest to dilute it with the fractionated coconut oil, because again, they are 100% pure and they can be very irritating, especially like the eucalyptus and the lemon. So make sure to dilute that. You just put a little of the coconut oil in your hand and just 1, maybe 2 drops of the essential oil that you want. There are a few rules about storage, kind of like the probiotic. So they are sensitive to light, air, and heat. That's why they're in the tinted bottles. And that's why, the cap screws on really tight, and try to keep them in an air-conditioned place, not your car or something that goes hot, cold, hot, cold. Try to keep them in a steady state. So that is all I have. Any questions? Yay! Who's next? Oh, yeah. No, you're fine.
So they are organic, we're allowed to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I know, like, some other companies, like doTERRA or whatever, you are allowed to ingest those oils?
Technically, no.
Technically, no.
You're not you're not supposed to ingest essential oils at all. That is an external thing. especially, you know, if there's, I don't know the quality of theirs, if they're 100% pure, it could really, I mean, I'm stressing this because it's serious. It could really do a lot of harm to the inside of your body. And so I know that there's a lot, like with Young Living and doTERRA, there's a lot of people or their reps that claim that you can, you know, just put some in your lemon water. It really, they shouldn't be saying that at all either. And I've looked at their rules and regulations and it says not to ingest. On the bottle of doTERRA and Young Living, it says do not ingest. So I don't know where that started in their company, but they're not supposed to be saying that either. So that's kind of a standard for all essential oils. Anybody else?
Thank you, Audra. Okay. I am just real briefly going to go through how to get a new distributor started. I've kind of, this has evolved over time when, it's just evolved. When I started, I felt like distributors were really lost on what to do once they got signed up. They're like, what do we do next? We'll get 4 customers. Well, how do I do that? So I have put together a welcome email. The very first thing I do, somebody texts me, say, I just got signed up. First thing I do is say, okay, great, what's your email? And I send them a welcome email. And actually, I just uploaded it into Dream Team. It's been in Arise and Shine for a while, but I just uploaded it into Dream Team. I know Brittany has one that she's used to. So you might just kind of pick and choose. I know there's one in Elite Legacy, but I would send a welcome email. It's very, very helpful. Mine goes through literally everything. It goes through like who to follow on Facebook and Instagram. And you might want to take those and adjust them to who, you know, you guys follow. But it gives like a lot of leaders on my team. The one that's uploaded does. It gives a ton of YouTube training videos. One of the most beneficial things I did when I started was I watched YouTube videos every single day. I watched a lot of Jade Hooper videos, Ashley Hughes videos, anything I could find. Tiffany, Alyssa, I watched probably 1 or 2 videos every single day for the first month or 2. Ashley Hughes has really, really good training videos. If you just go to YouTube and type Ashley Hughes training videos, there's 4 videos that'll come up. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. I really recommend, even if you don't want to do a welcome email, send your new distributors those, just that. And it literally, they're like 10 or 15 minutes. They're not super long, but she goes through everything you could possibly need. They are a little bit outdated because they still mention the $120 for free product, but just mention to your new distributors that that part is not there anymore, but the rest of it is very pertinent. She goes through your website, which I think a lot of times that can be something to hold new distributors up because they feel like I don't know my website yet, so I can't really get started. But she will walk them through the website. Also, we do a newbie to Ruby team page, which has kind of helped us streamline getting new people started. You're in it for a month, so you could do something easy to do with your team. We put all of our new people in it for a month, and it has a video going through the website. It has videos on how to get started posting. It has videos on pretty much anything you could want, and that's worked pretty well for our team, I've found. And then I help them come up with their 100th list. That is a really, really, really important thing when you get started, to go through your eSuite, and in Document Library there's a memory jogger, which will just help you think of people. The actual 100th list, for whatever reason, got taken out of eSuite. I know, I got like 5 texts about that. Why is it not there? I don't know why they took it out, but they did. But literally just make a list with 100 names on it. People who you went to school with, you went to camp with, you whatever. There's a memory jogger to help you think of all those people. But those are the people that you're going to start reaching out to, whether that be about products or the business opportunity. Before I sign a distributor, I'm already talking to them about their launch party. If you haven't had a launch party, I can't stress how important it is. Whether it's in person, online, I've done them both. I've done both parties for one person. They are so, so, so important. Even if you think nobody's going to come, who cares? Still have a launch party. Take a picture, say how much you learned, be excited about it. Launch parties are super huge for your business. And then when I get a new distributor, I encourage them to get their first 4 customers prior to the launch party. It just kind of gets them going, because, you know, some people sign up and they're like, well, I need my kit. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Good. Nobody knows what they're doing when they start. Just start. Joel Dunn said at conference, and I loved it, ignorance on fire will always outrun knowledge on ice. And that is so true. You don't have to know everything. You just have to get started. And the email and the things like that have helped so that people can get started and have all those resources without you having to kind of drag them by the hand. You can always tell by the questions you get whether or not people have taken the time to read those, read through the email, watch the videos, but it has helped streamline it so it's not so like, this is what you do now, this is what you need to do today. It literally, like, it walks them through posting, the first couple of posts, gives them ideas and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I get a new distributor started. I think you're next, right? Yeah.
Alrighty, so what I'm going to go over is the 6 list. How many of you guys, most of you have probably heard about the 6 list before? No? Okay, good. This is going to be like really, really good for you, for those of you that have never heard of it. And then for those of you that have heard of it but aren't doing it consistently, this is where it's going to excel your business. It's so funny. I'm in a Going Ambassador page that they just started a couple days ago, and Christina Watts had posted this idea, and I just fell in love with it. And so I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do some kind of contest for those people that make one. So what they do is they take a calendar, and they literally, you can write it out, print it out, whatever. And what you're going to do is, like, on Sundays, you're going to give yourself 6 things to do every Sunday. And do any of you sometimes feel that you work, like you're constantly working this business, right? We're always on our phones. We're always on the computer. We're always doing something. If you're like me, because this has happened to me before, probably you're not working that whole time, but we think that we are. And so one thing that I've been doing for a while that's been helping a ton, it's so funny because I was doing something like this, just not to this extent, but I love it. So you take your calendar and you say, okay, on Sundays, and you actually write it on Sunday, you're going to do these 6 things every Sunday. And you put little circles by them or whatever. When you get that done, you cross it off, okay? If you can get that list crossed off by 9, 10 o'clock in the day, okay, don't feel like you have to work the rest of the day if you don't want to. Now, I know I'm guilty of Ty and my husband will be doing something and they're like, man, you're always working. Well, this isn't work to me, just like you play Legos and you like to, read the stuff you like to read. This is a game, like really it is. Like, I love this. So if I want to work all day, that's okay. But if you don't want to, but I think what happens sometimes is it's not income producing activities every day. But I know what can happen is sometimes we'll work really, really good for a couple days, and then we have the rest of the week where we don't work very well. Well, consistency will make or break your business. So let's say on Mondays you're going to do these things. Truly, once you cross them off, be done for the day if you want to. One, I feel like you will feel more like you've accomplished so much. But if you truly do it for 1, 2, 3 months, you will have planted way more seed than just planting really, really good for 2 days. And then the rest of the month, you didn't do anything, okay? Find your days that you will follow up. For instance, like I know Tiffany and a couple other girls will talk about how they do follow-up Friday. That's never worked for me, but I know that if someone was messaging me every Friday, I probably would have blocked them. So find what works for you. But just find, and I'm going to go over some of the things that you should be doing. Now, you're going to have to push yourself a little bit, but if you truly just look at it as, okay, a task to get done, I don't think it'll be as overwhelming. So messaging people every day. I have 15 to 30, and the reason why that's a big, big difference, but here's why. Some days I message 30 and not one person replies. Some days I message 5 and they all reply. Well, that keeps me busy the rest of the day. And so at that point, it's income producing. I'm building a relationship, asking them why they would want to do this, getting to know them better. That's been working really, really well for me. It's so funny. And this is just me being real and raw with you guys. I've had the last couple of months have been some of the slower months that I've ever had. But just wait, because I've been working my business differently, and they are legit going to be runners. And so instead of kind of messaging everyone, I've been picking who I want on my team and pouring into them differently. And this is something I'm kind of getting off, but I'm really good about getting off, so just bear with me. Sometimes I love how we say, fill your steps to success, fill your steps to success. But if you're also like me, when you don't feel your steps to success, it can be like where you're just super, super bummed. So here's what I tell myself. Because in the 24 months, I think I now have 6 months where I've not filled it. And the last couple ones have been like it was 3, and it got to 6 very quickly recently. And this is what I told myself. I went back and I looked at how many DTs I had signed in my 24 months. If you do the math, it's at least 3, if not more, a month. So what I tell myself is, if you have a rough month, that's okay. Just push towards 4 or 5 the next month, so that in a 3-month span, you've done the 9 DTs. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Don't get beat up over the fact that you didn't fill your steps to success. And here's what I tell myself. The only time I beat myself up is when I know I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing. And that's when I'm sad about it. But when I know I truly did, I'm like, you did all you could. Eventually, these seeds are going to grow. Okay, so messaging is super, super important. The other reason why it's important is because I think some people are, I hate to use the word lucky because they're clearly working their business, but some people do message people and they get them to sign that day or that week. That's not how it works for me. I can tell you right now, all the people that join me, 90, probably 8% of them, I've been talking to for a very, very long time, sometimes even a year. Okay, it was funny. We were in the hospital, and yes, I was still working in the hospital because it was just my fun or whatever. And I literally had just said to Matt, "What's it going to take to get this girl on our team?" And it was a friend of his ex-fiance's that I don't even really know. We've been talking to her for a while. Like, I have no idea who she is, but we had talked a year ago, May of 15. And I think it was like 2 or 3 days after we got out of the hospital, she messages me. And what's funny is I showed him. I was like, "Look. All these months she is now, granted, I probably message like once a month or once every other month. No replies. Well, guess what? Guess who just had a baby and doesn't want to go back to work? Well, guess who is relating to a lot of my posts right now? So that's what you will relate to someone. You just have to make sure that you planted the seeds. That way, when they are seeing your post, then they relate to you and they come to you, not to someone else. Okay? So messaging. Blitzing. This is something that was not my strong suit in the beginning, but that's because I was doing it wrong for myself. Going up to someone and handing them a blitz card is not me. I mean, I still to this day get all red and blotchy talking to people, okay? I've been doing this for 2 years. But what I found is wearing my gear is easy. Talking to someone or bringing it up like in a sneaky way is very easy. When someone says, when Ty's getting his hair cut and they're like, I'm trying to think something really quickly. I'm trying to think. Like if someone says something like, "Oh, are you going to start school soon?" I will find a way to work in that we have been staying home all summer and that last year I was getting ready to go back to work. Like I find a way to bring up that I do it works. But what's crazy is I even bring it up with the intentions of not saying it anymore. Like I just want to put it out there, get a feel, and then start building that relationship. Blitzing will make a difference in your business. You just have to find how it works for you. And I think this is something that I love all the trainings we do. But something that's so important, you're going to hear me say that I blitz this way, and you're going to hear this person say that they do it that way. You will have to find what works for you, but you may have to step outside your comfort zone and try my way. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Try someone else's way. In the process, you may find your way works different. Or like me, I don't like doing parties, but they're one of the best things that I do, and they work really well, and we usually have very good turnout. Do I love them? No. But is it worth it? Yes. It's worth it for 2 reasons. It's worth it to get the team started, and it's worth it to help my business as well too. So sometimes you have to get outside your comfort zone, even though blitzing is still scary to me. Set up parties. Now, this is something that I want you to be realistic, okay? I think sometimes, does anyone, like, at the beginning of the month, you're like, oh my gosh, this month's going to be amazing. I'm ready to hit the ground running. And then it lasts for like 4, 5, 6 days. Sometimes I think we can give ourselves unrealistic expectations. And I'm not saying don't dream big. I want you to dream big, and I want you to push yourselves. But don't make it something that you can't be consistent for the whole entire month. So let's say you're someone that doesn't like parties or has not ever really set up parties. Don't go say you're going to have 2, 3 a week. That's not realistic. Say, I'm going to get 1 party this month or 2 parties this month. I love the online parties. I will say, if you have an option to have an in-home party, they're just more relatable. They can see how easy it is, or at least for me, because I don't stand up. I sit down, get my shoes off, get on the couch with them. Because I think some of you guys have heard me say this. I always went to parties, like the jewelry and all those things, and I always wanted the extra income that the lady talked about, her little spiel at the beginning, but I would never ask more questions because they were standing in front of people, and I knew I couldn't do that. So I always sit on the couch with them, make it comfortable, make it show how easy it is. So set up parties. Something that's been working for me as well is going to loyal customers that you've offered the business to, but they just aren't interested, but they love the products. See if they'll host a party for you online or in person. If they're around you, really, really try to do it in person, because and even if one person shows up, I can't tell you how many distributors that I've signed, that I've started, that have had no one or even one person show up, but ends up growing their business better than most because of what we do there. So like the one person, I just act like it's not a big deal. I'm like, oh, this is actually really good that it's just us, that we can start to talk, because I can be, I can work more one-on-one with you. I act like it's a good thing that it happened. And just like Trista said, in the parties where no one shows, no, I don't take a selfie with the person and say, oh, she just welcomed 4 loyal customers. I've never lie, but I always say, she just rocked our party. We did so much learning, because to be honest, if I drove to their house, I'm going to sit there for 30, 40 minutes, and we're going to go over the stuff like you did just have a party, so that they can do it. So if you look at the people that see success very quickly, the ones that take longer, or the ones that give up before they even give it a chance, it's how excited they are for their posts and how excited they are when they're going around out and about. I think that's the biggest thing in this business, is excitement and being creative. So parties. The other thing is, and I just talked about this on a Zoom, I don't know if it's one that I did for our team or another team that had asked me to do one for. Take this with a grain of salt, but figure out how it works for you. So recently I've had some people that have asked about, like, let's say hair, skin, and nails, some of the lower priced products, and they've asked about them. I talk to them and they say, okay, well, my husband's not going to let me spend $90-some on hair, skin, and nails for whatever. Long story short, they just don't end up purchasing. Okay. So then the next month I message with okay, I have 2 more spots for the product tester. Would you want to claim yours? Okay, whatever. After a couple months or a couple of times reaching out, at that point, I pretty much know that they're probably not going to sign up until something changes. And if I look at their Facebook page and I can see that they don't, one, live around me, don't have a lot of mutual friends, those are the perfect people to host online parties for you, because they have a market that you aren't in yet. So what I've been doing, and yes, this is an investment, so those of you just starting out, put this as something for the future. I'm not asking you to go spend a bunch of money on product, but so I messaged this girl and I said, hey, I know you really, really want to try it, but your husband just will not let you. And at this point, I knew he wouldn't let her. I said, would you be interested in hosting an online party for me? And I will give that to you as your hostess reward. High parties, if you guys been to that, they sell this much, then you get a necklace for half price or whatever. In this business, we get to make our own hostess reward. So decide what you want to do. And that party went really, really well. but it went well because I kind of put some ground rules out there. I said, I need you to be active in it, and I need you to comment on things that you legit are interested in. So when the hair, skin, and nail post came up, she said, I can't wait for my hair, skin, and nails to come in. She didn't say she'd purchased it. She didn't say I was giving it to her for free, but she knew it was coming, and people really started chiming in. So that's something that I just did recently, and it's been working really well. Be on team calls. I love this one when someone gave me this tip. Make that one of your things for your 6th list, okay? I don't know if you're like me, but for those of you that go to church, on the days that I go, I make it a priority to get there. Every time I hear something that was like, that's why I felt like I needed to be here today. It's kind of the exact same thing with the team calls. Sometimes that I get on, I'm just like, I have a million other things to do, so I have to put on speakerphone, but it always says something that relights my fire, or they say something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I know a girl that is like this that I've been scared to reach out to because I thought she didn't need it, but I guess maybe she does. Please, please, please make it a priority to get on, let's say, 1 Zoom and 1 team call a week. All I know is what this has done for my life, and many, many others in this room and many others on our team. You sacrifice a little time now for time that I would have never been getting the time I had now had I not sacrificed then. So especially when you can, yes, especially when you can do it from, I mean, the Zooms these days, you can literally have it on your phone and be driving. You don't have to watch. You don't have to, team calls can be from your phone wherever you're at. I mean, wherever you are at. I listened to Green Carpet because they wouldn't let us go because I was too close to having Zella. So I had his Big Hero 6 headphones at Ty's All-Star game because I wanted to be able to hear Green Carpet, but I needed to be at his All-Star game. So I did all, together at once. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way. But I love that one. Here are some other things. Check credit card declines. I'm just going to kind of go through some of the things that I've been recently adding to my 6th list. And it's things that I wasn't doing those things on the 6th list. I was doing it when it needed done. Well, then it became not fun. So just put it weekly, and at that point, they're small tasks. It's not overwhelming. This is a silly one, but print your steps to success. I will tell you right now, as silly as it sounds, if the months that I truly have it, print it, and keep it with me are my best months. When I first started, Tiffany Herb put out a video that said if you fill a steps to success 3 months in a row, that she would pay for, and then she'd do a drawing, and she'd pay for your entire conference trip, flight, conference ticket, hotel. And I knew we were not in a financial situation for me to go, even though I knew I needed to get there. So it was game on. It was like, that's how I'm going, is I'm going to compete for it. Long story short, I end up being the only one. They didn't have to do a drawing because I was the only one on our team that had done it. It changed my business getting there. I went as a diamond and came back the next year. I'm drawing a blank now. I think it was triple. Yeah, it was triple. Anyways, it just literally changes your business. But here's where it connects to the steps to success. So I had printed it because I knew that I had to prove it to her and show her. So after those 3 months were up, what I do the next month, I didn't print it because I know what I need. I need the 3 DTs and the 4 LCs. I can do this. That was one of the first months ever that I didn't fill it. And it was funny because then on one of the calls, the person said, when you focus on something, when you see something, you are more likely to fulfill something that you are telling yourself will happen every single day. And this was something when I'm working towards Ambassador. I was talking to Alyssa a few months ago, and she said, do you get up every morning and speak positive affirmations? And I said, well, I have a routine that I watch my motivational video, and I do pray about my business every day. And she's like, no, I mean, look like a fool. While you're getting ready, literally look at yourself and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. She said, that's literally how I got to Ambassador. She said, I was doing things that were unheard of. I needed so many distributors. I needed so much volume. I needed all this to be happening. But I brought it to myself by speaking life into it. And so that's something that's super important. Now, this is something where I will say This was on Christina Watts's idea list, but I actually messaged her about this because I struggle with this one. And it says in contact with your DTs and in contact with your LCs. This is something that I personally need to get better at. Rarely, I don't. I tell people all the time, if you need me, come to me and I'll be there in 2 seconds, but I don't say, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? And here's my reasoning for not doing it. One, if anyone needs anyone, I'm there. And two, I wouldn't be building my business, which turn around, I couldn't be helping my team if I was constantly not trying to work my business. So you're gonna have to find a balance there, and that's something that I'll just be honest that I struggle with. So just find your balance. And this is where it actually has helped me, is because with the calendar, you can make it as one of your bullet points. So it's not okay, I have to contact all my DTs today, because that is overwhelming in the fact of, well, what if 20 people or even more or less want to have full out conversations? Well, at that point, you can't pour into them and you can't work your business. So put it as contact these people, make it some of your points. Same thing with LCs. As you grow your business, you're going to have more loyal customers to take care of, even ones that turn off their auto shipments. And so make it one of your thing to contact 4 of them, contact 5 of them. And then that way it breaks it up into smaller portions. Following up, which you guys know, this is a huge one, staying on top of perks points. And here's why. When you guys are getting close to going towards a promotion, you can't imagine how much perk points can be a game changer, because they may not know that they have 10 perks points, which may not seem like a lot to you, because if you're like me, I'm a people pleaser in my head and my heart. So to me, it's like, oh, will they, $10 is $10. So it really doesn't pay for anything in full. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as of, hey, our cleanse just came out, or like, let's say one of our products, our probiotic just came out. You have 10 perks points. If you want to, you can go place an order and apply that, and you will not pay full price. One, you're going to get them started on a product that I'm so excited. I'm actually starting it soon because I've heard so many good things about our probiotic. And then also, I was going to ask you, how long is the time on this? It is? Okay, good. Because mine at first wasn't. Oh, okay. What was I saying? Oh, perks points. So let's say you are going for a promotion. You may not get the same amount of BV, but you'll still get some BV. And let's be honest, all BV counts. And in turn, they're trying another product that will hopefully, and if you explain how to take it right and they stay consistent, I always like to use perks points for the products that I know, like wraps are hard for me. Love the wraps, but like if you're like me, once I got my results, I actually stayed pretty active and ate pretty healthy. I didn't need to wrap all the time. So if that was me on an auto shipment, I wouldn't have continued my auto shipment if I was purchasing from one of you guys. But if you had me try the greens or a probiotic or It's Vital Core or something that truly made my quality of life better and daily feel better, well, at that point, I don't want to turn it off. Just like I used to have a vanilla Coke every day. I still was going to get that vanilla Coke, if that makes sense, okay? When you find something that you want, you will continue it daily. So that's really good for perks points. This is something that I love, and it's as you grow, because I don't want anyone that's new in here to think, oh my gosh, I have to go purchase all these products. But I've been sending thank you cards to my loyal customers, and I just ordered the new ones now, like putting the new greens to let them sample. That's huge. Just saying thank you. And I actually, the video that I got this idea, she said she was doing it for just the active ones. I've actually been doing it even for the ones that weren't active, but here's why. I've been in the business for 2 years now. I have some that they were signed up 2 years ago for hair, skin, and nails, and let's say once their hair got where they needed it, they didn't need to purchase the product anymore. So I think that's a great idea. Hundreds list. People you are working with, building relationships with, and reaching out. This is huge, and that's why I think I was one of the ones that was so sad when the hundreds list disappeared, because as silly as it sounds, my computer doesn't have Excel, and so I couldn't make my own, and that's like how I did it. Okay, perfect. When I posted it, someone said, I'm sure someone has it, but no one had said anything. So, okay, I found one, so I made a copy when I was at my mom's. So then I wrote on it, so I have no copies to make anymore. I'm just like devastated about this. But that's how I stay organized, because I'm very like organized, but not like with stuff like that. So I literally keep like a list of my LCs on it, my potentials, my perks points, everything on those. I don't know. I just love stapling them together. So I'm weird. Yes, were you asking? Okay, so your hundreds list should be people you're working with. And this is something, did you guys look at the game plan where you're supposed to pick like the top people in your business that you're working with? To me, that should be, at least half of them should be your new ones, like the new people in your business. And then obviously if you're going for a promotion or whatever, it will change. Just try to switch it up all the time. That's what I do. And then, let me see, sorry. I had it written down here and now I lost my track. Who you're building a relationship with. And that's why I love like the Facebook groups. Reaching out to and following up. Instagram. I know that not everyone loves it. Trust me, I didn't either. I'll never forget when I went to lunch with Alyssa probably about a year ago now, maybe 9 months, I don't know. And she saw my Instagram. She was like, nope, we're going to change this. Like, don't let it say anything about it works. I was like, okay. Mine wasn't spammy at the time, but I was following about double the people that were following me. Excuse me, I'll never forget. She sat there and she was like, all right, you're ready to do this, right? And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, delete. She deleted like 700 people from my Instagram. And I was like, what? Like, they were like going to be so good at this. And she said, yeah, but no one's looking at you because you don't want to be following more people than are following you. Even if you have to have baby steps and start back at 300 or 100. Baby step it up. I think I just now got to 1,400 following me, and I work it every day. Okay, but I will say that the potentials I have from it are way more solid, and when it's their time, it's going to be awesome. So just take a step back, but make yourself figure it out. Yeah.
What are you using an app for your unfollowers and things like that to find people who are not following you?
Okay, so I'm really a creature of habit. Okay. But what that ends up meaning is I have a hard time like taking those things. So I usually start them about 6 months after I hear about it, because then I like, okay, I finally have to do it. So I finally downloaded like 3 or 4 of them. I really couldn't figure them out. I found that I wasn't building relationships at that point because I was just like getting rid of a bunch of people, but I didn't even give them a chance to. I personally do not use an app. Okay. But I have, do you guys use an app? I have some that love it.
They're cleaner.
Okay.
Compatible with Instagram's new algorithm.
Okay.
So they don't. It's like $2.99, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I also use this new one because I wanted to see if anyone was blocking me. Like, I try to add about 100 people a day, and I wanted to see of those 100 people truly who unfollow me and then block me. And it was $10, but it's really interesting because I find that, and I only post really one It Works post a day, but as soon as I post that, I'm getting blocked a lot of times. So it was worth the $10 because I don't know why, it just was.
You felt better about it.
I felt better about myself. But it's called Track. I know, like this one girl, I was like, seriously, you blocked me, and I had a conversation. Like, she likes non-It Work stuff. I felt a little bit betrayed, but.
And so did she, because she didn't realize why you added her.
I know.
She's like, that's why you messaged me. Trying to sell to me. No.
But it tells you like gained followers, lost followers, non-followers, and then who are your fans, like people that are actually who are actually commenting on your posts and stuff, and it breaks it down by each person. Like, if I've made 500 posts, they've commented on 500 of them.
What was that called?
It's INS Track.
Instatrack is free. Yeah, that's what I use.
Well, this is okay. So this one it's free, but then if you want to know who's blocking, you have to pay.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Right. But if you want to put this stuff, engagement, media sites, history,
The extras.
insight, yeah.
The in-app
You want
purchase.
to use it.
Well, because it tricks you.
Yeah.
Because I saw like I have 3 people that are blocked, so I went there. It was
So
like
then-
$9.99.
yes.
And I'm like, okay.
Okay, so here's my tip with this. If you are someone like me that would get so involved with that, don't do it. Because that'd be me. And that's what I did. I mean, I actually still have them here. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 of them down here. I just need to delete them. But I found myself like, it was taking up more time than if I would not worry about what was going on and just like and comment on 10 more posts, I probably would build my business a little quicker. So, but if you're someone that you need it because it would make you more efficient, do it. Just understand that you're going to hear so many tips. If it doesn't work for you, move on and look for another idea. Okay.
Okay, so like, I don't do Instagram at all. I need like Instagram for dummies.
They have
So where can I find that?
YouTube.
There's tons of videos on all of it. Well, then I know that there was a guy, and then the guy left, and now we're not able to follow the guy. So I wasn't sure what to do.
Well, let me do this, and I'm just going to go ahead and be honest and say that I will do it soon. Like I put a date on, like I put a lot of things with Zella. It's been crazy. I'll do a Zoom about Instagram because I know you're not the only one, and I'll find a couple other people that feel like they're really, really good at Instagram, and we'll like tag team it.
How do you decide who you're gonna unfollow them? Like, what's your?
To be honest, one of the best things that Alyssa had mentioned to me, to Ashley and I a while ago, kind of about the same thing, but a little bit different. Sometimes we get so involved in finding more instead of just taking care of what we have. So once I got like 1,000 people to work with, I know I hadn't worked with those 1,000 people. So why am I looking for 1,000 more when I may have someone that needs this or wants this with what I have? So I guess I don't, and like I said, I hate to say this because this is what works for me. I don't do that, add 50 people every day.
No, I don't do. I'm saying, how do you get rid of people?
You mean like just change
Yeah,
the
like-
numbers?
Yeah.
Crowdfire is
I
a
have
good one.
I'm following way more because I was trying to build up.
Crowdfire is a good one, and seriously, I was getting obsessed with like, and I could never ever see who blocks me because I would be sobbing. But this Crowdfire, it just goes like recent unfollowers. So like, here's crap. If you're not following me, I'm not following you. So I always go to that one, and it's like you've unfollowed me, I unfollow them, and then there's non-followers. I give people a week to follow you back. If they don't, they're gone too. On to the next. So then I just scroll to the bottom because those are the ones that have never want this, and then I just unfollow, and that's how I keep my numbers. That's you ever had trouble with Crowdfire? There was for a little bit, but then now it keeps. It said like you have to pay, and then now that option's gone.
It's called Pluto. It's just a new version. It's completely compatible with this version. And I do it exactly the same way. And Brittany made an excellent point on not getting overwhelmed with the number of followers that you have, taking care of the ones that you do have. Very, very important. As soon as I started reaching out, I run my Instagram. As soon as I started reaching out to the people that we had and started building a relationship there, that's when you start seeing productivity. Sheer numbers don't make it happen. I really don't believe that they do. There's certain people who are all about that. And I feel like that when you're going on sheer numbers, your business that you're building is a house of cards. I say that all the time. I feel like it's really, really going to fall apart. But if you build relationships, you build your business on those relationships, that's how you're going to go about it. My push is Crowdfire is great. Unmet need. Some people hate it. That's the other function that I use on Crowdfire. There's something that's really cool, and not many people use it. It's called the admirers. You go to the admirers, you can actually see who gives you the most love, who likes your stuff the most. Rather than keeping tabs in the notebook, which I do that too, but it actually tells you the people that love you the most, love your post the most, and then it gives you the opportunity to return love to them and like their stuff.
Love it. So I'm kind of gone over on time, and so what I'm going to do is that you guys get the gist of that. I will be posting my 6 list, more ideas into the pages, okay? And then I'm going to think of like a fun contest or whatever. I want to see everyone's 6 list. Make it. get your calendar, figure out what your things are. I'll give you some ideas, and whatever it is, your income producing things are going to be different than mine because we all work our business differently. But if you do it every day, not just for a couple days when you're feeling good, if you do it every day consistently, you will see a difference. So now I'm actually the next speaker, obviously still here, about parties. Now, because I am blonde, and the screenshot that I have up, the time is at the top, and so it's not the actual time, it's this time in the screenshot. So what I thought I was looking at was not correct. So I'm going to kind of jump to the next thing I was supposed to be talking about, which is parties. But I know, work with me here. That's why you don't have to be the smartest person to do this. You don't have to do it efficiently and consistently. Okay, so anyways, parties. We'll actually do a Zoom about that too, but I'm going to go over, be thinking of some questions, okay, because I will answer your questions for those of you that are here. Okay, so parties. I'm going to give you a couple tips, and then we'll just have to do a Zoom about it, because I think that some of the other things that we're going to hear about, it's better than listening to me talk. So, parties. Go no matter whether you think someone is going to have people show up or not. I think sometimes what happens is they're like, I don't think anyone's going to show. And then we naturally say, well, let's just reschedule. Who cares? Because I've had people that have had no one show. We still go over stuff, and when we post our picture, someone will text them and say, hey, sorry I missed your party, but can I place an order? Because they think that we didn't say it, but they think that other people showed up. They just missed the party, okay? The other thing is be excited, be comfortable. Don't be overwhelmed if you have a lot of product or don't have a lot of product. My first party didn't have much. I had 22 people say they were coming. 8 people only showed up, and most of them were family. So don't be overwhelmed. Who purchases? Who doesn't purchase? One of my good friends had a decent turnout, like 7-8 people. Not one person purchased. This was in the beginning of my business, and she was all worked up. I was acting like I thought it was perfect that it happened like that. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. When really I was like, oh gosh, that was not good. But they were asking good questions. It went over a while, and what ended up happening, everyone after that party, everyone signed up to be a loyal customer, and she actually got some distributors out of it. So sometimes what you have to realize is that's another opportunity to plant the seed. Then the DT or the person hosting the party, if they're a DT, can take care of them and keep building that relationship. At parties, like I said, you don't have to have a lot of stuff. If you can, yes, I do sample ProFit at some of the parties, depending on who the clientele is. If I know the person says a lot of people coming are really into Beachbody, well, I know they're going to be comparing it to the shake, so I sample the shake. Sample the greens, wow if you have it, but don't get overwhelmed at what you don't have. It's okay. The other thing that Trista was saying, that a lot of questions that we get is how I close the party. And this is something that I want you guys to write down if you guys haven't seen it. Go on YouTube and look down Ashley Olive Wrap Party. It's a 2-part video. That actually, it's about an hour total, I think. It really changed how I did parties. And it made it so much easier, because I don't like to pressure people, and I know we have to do it, but you have to give them no option but to purchase. Then if they don't want to, they will tell you that I'll call you later or I'll let you know. But you're going to talk to them as if they're doing something. So at the end, what she suggests, and I word it a little different, but what I say now is, all right, so we're all done. Does anyone have any questions? Usually they're yes or no. And I'm like, okay, so we have 2 options today. You're going to purchase as a loyal customer, or you're going to join as a rep. The only difference is if you have no interest in making any money, then you'll want to become a loyal customer. Because even if they don't do anything, let's be honest, how many people are going to be thinking, well, yeah, I have interest in making extra money. Okay? It's kind of reverse psychology a little bit, but you just have to give them those 2 options. The other thing that I've not been doing, but I've seen in the business that it makes a difference for other people, clipboards with the order sheets, okay? And have them fill out things that they want, or have them fill out the steps to success about, like, as I'm talking to you, we're going to do a raffle for, and it doesn't even have to be anything. It works if at the beginning you can't afford to buy this stuff. It can be something small, just like a small little gift. But if you can give, like, if you have wrap rewards, give your free wrap. But let's say, while I'm talking, I want you to fill out your steps to success. I want you to, as I'm talking, if you think of 3 people that could use this business, I want you to write their names down. If you can think of 4 people that, as I go through the products, that you would love hair, skin, nails, need relief, I want you to write that down. For anyone that fills your steps to success by the end of the party, we're going to fold them up and I'm going to do a drawing for this prize. Okay? Well, really what that gets to you is when the party's over, you can show them you already filled what it takes to, like, run this business and be very successful. Are you sure you don't have any other questions about being a distributor? Because you were already talking about getting a box of wraps, which is $59. If you don't get the wraps today and go ahead and just purchase the business builder kit for another $40 that you are already going to be spending the $60, for another $40, you can start your own business and get the wraps way less than $59. Does that make sense? So you're putting it, and you don't have to pressure them, because I'm not a pressure person, which is probably why I don't sign people the week that I message them, because it does take me a while to build the relationship. But sometimes you have to make them think of it in a better way. Does anyone have any questions about parties? I want to do like a before and after, like from the beginning to the end, but I'll have to do it in a Zoom. No, but I shouldn't be saying that. Yeah.
I like to use it, and I feel like when I get to the end of it, I'm all like awkward turtle, like I don't
Okay,
know
here's what I would say. If your parties are going too long, if they're taking more than 45 minutes to an hour to go through stuff, then use your party pad, because you're getting off track, you're rambling, which you would think that I would need one of those, but for some reason why I don't. But I use because I use the catalog. I don't know, but I do mine a little differently. But keep it short and sweet. Even when it gets to like the vitamins at the top, I'll say, here's the really important one. Here's the one that I have seen the best success with. But I'm going to let you guys read if you have any questions. Like, I don't go over everything, but keep it short. Yeah.
I like to go over what I use.
Yeah, I do. Like what I have a testimony on from someone I know. Yeah. Anything that now that I've been doing it long enough, that I have a picture to pass around of myself, or a story to tell. Like for my dad, it's the relief. For my mom and dad, I have the funny story about the wow. I think you guys were at the meeting when I explained that whole story. That's the other thing in the parties. Be relaxed, crack jokes if you can. Like, and it's not even that you are funny or aren't funny, but don't be afraid to say the silly things. You know, I always tell the wow story about my parents and about they drove away and they had the white film. But here's what's nice about that. Do you want to know why I do it? 1, it's the truth. 2, it gets people laughing. They relax. But 3, it's a way for me to bring up that this product may leave the white film without being like, but I just want to let you know that sometimes you can get white residue. Because at that point, for me, if I was sitting at the party, I'd be like, well, I'm not going to buy it if I'm going to get, you know. But if I can tell the story of my parents and that, yeah, oh, I knew this could have happened, but it's really easy, whatever, I just put too much. Does that make sense? So find ways to tell your story, to put stuff in like that. Does anyone else have any questions? Yes.
In your Zoom, can you talk about how to use the party pad?
Yeah.
I might be the only one that I look at it and I don't get it.
Okay.
Actually, Olive does, she does use it. So setting it up necessarily, she doesn't like go through this, how you set it up. But it's super simple to get the notes out of your document library, and you just like, you can watch how she does it. Her notes are over here. She's showing this side of it. But she does use the party pad in her video.
I was just gonna say that there's detailed notes. Some changes even were just redone right after conference, so they're up to date.
And the party pad is there, 1, because obviously it works, but 2, because they want people to know how simple this is. For me, I just have over the time, even though I don't love parties, once I am there and talking, I'm comfortable, so I don't need the guideline. Does that make sense? But some people, they feel more comfortable, and I think they just want people to know this is how simple it is. It doesn't take this extravagant thing to have a killer party. Yeah, yeah, you don't have to have, really, just wraps. Sound good? Okay, so we're going to get to everything else, but within the next, I'll give myself 2 weeks to get these 2 Zooms out. Okay, may even blow my own mind and do it in 1 week, but I'm going to give myself 2. And I'll do the Instagram video, how I work mine, and then I'll actually do like an active party. I'll do like what I do at the parties. Sound good? I don't know who is next. I got rid of.
Yeah, Jess and Brittany.
Come on, Brittany. We're going to talk about posting. Okay, so probably one of the biggest things I hear from people is I just don't have enough time. My business just isn't where I want it to be. It's just not going as fast as I want it to be. And the number one thing I'm going to ask you first off, are you posting? Well, and that's usually the answer, okay? So posting, I can tell you hands down 100% that I have gotten to where I am right now because since the day that I joined, I have posted multiple times every single day without fail, whether I'm on vacation, whether I'm sick, whether my kids are sick, whether I'm just in a bad mood and I don't like my husband that day, whatever it is, I haven't missed a day. And we will like consistency is the key. If you want this business to take you to where you want to be, posting consistently, if you're building on social media, which I'm going to guess the majority of us are, is crucial. So we're going to start off with Britt actually first. Brittany is a full-time nurse, and she does a phenomenal job of posting. Her posts are good, they're relevant, they are catchy, and she's one that she doesn't miss a day. She works full-time, she has 2 kids, they're building a house, she's crazy busy. But she's no excuses, and I love that. So give us your number 1 tips for posting.
So I would say, sorry, I'll go fast, I promise. So consistency is the biggest one. I hate people telling me that they don't have time to post. Or, you know, I never miss a day. If I'm sick, just like Jess said, if my kids are sick, I'm sick, whatever. If I'm on vacation, a lot of times, I just got back from vacation and I'll post, like I was posting while I was on vacation. My mom's like, you're on vacation, just take a break. And I'm like, I would not be on this vacation if it wasn't for this. So I'm going to keep posting. So just think about, I mean, you don't have to be like, I don't know, you don't have to be like crazy good at it. It's just do it and just put thought into it. So that goes into another one, just to be thoughtful with your posts. Don't just post to post. I know a lot of us are guilty of like copy and pasting and stuff like that, but even if that's all you can do, that's fine. But change it up a little bit, make it relevant to you, change stuff with it so that it's not exactly the same as what we did or whoever did. Make it your own. Be excited. Jess is really good about being excited too, but just show your excitement, how excited you are about whatever you're sharing, how excited you are about, you know, the new products or whatever you're going to be sharing about. Just show how excited you are about it. Show people that you are actually using the products. So if that means you have to do a video to show people how you're mixing up your greens and you're drinking it, you got to show a video. The other day I tried to take one of those stupid, which I cannot learn how to do yet, those stupid fast-mo, slow-mo videos that you do over there of like defining gel, and my face was like, so I deleted it. But I'm like, you have to show people that you're actually using the products because they need to see that, and they need to see an actual real-life person, not just a bottle of the defining gel and you holding it up. Like, it needs to be more than that. People buy feelings, so if you're making them feel something, you're going to get more interest with that than just being like, here are the greens. You need to tell people what the greens are doing for you or what they're doing for other people. Just let them know how you feel on these products or how you feel when you get that promotion and how you feel when something big happens. Post your story. I never used to do this, but now I try to do it at least once a week, if not more. Post your story about, if I have 2 versions of my story saved in my little notes. I will change it up each time, add a little bit, take a little bit off, change the picture that I post with it, but
do your story a lot. Every time I post my story, I get new bites of potentials. New people who like and they may just like the picture because it's a pretty picture of my kids or whatever. But it's still a potential, and you can still plant that seed that will eventually sprout into something else. Videos are big. I know I haven't done it yet because I'm really nervous, but going live is really big right now. So I know I want to poop my pants when I do that. It takes me like 18 times just to do a video and going live. I'm like, I tried to do it one time. I was like, no, I can't. Not yet. I'll get there. I'll get there. I know. The new algorithm, it does notify everybody, on your friends list when you go live. So if you have enough courage to do it, you should do it. I'll get there.
I don't even do it. Sometimes it's just so rambling. But guess what? Like
Everybody looked at it.
And people come back and see my post.
And I wouldn't worry about being perfect because, to be honest, the one videos that I've posted before live that I taped but didn't have time to retape and they weren't perfect or I said something funny are the ones that get way more comments.
Yes,
Even
that's
from people that
definitely
don't
true.
like it works. Well, it shows that they're watching because they're like commenting on something funny in the video.
Yep.
So don't worry about being perfect.
For sure.
Another thing too is Facebook likes when you use the locations and the feelings. So I try now to, like, if I am somewhere, I will tag my location and then I'll always add whatever feeling I'm feeling to that post. Another good thing to do, which is kind of off subject, I'm sorry, but if you are at a location, you can go and see other people that have been at that location. So like when I was in Tennessee just a couple weeks ago, anywhere that I was on Facebook and Instagram, I added new people just because they were at the same location that I was. So it's always a good way to kind of open up your market and just kind of go from there. Planning posts is huge. I never used to do that, but with work and kids and craziness, sometimes I do know, like, I'm going to have a crazy week at work, so I'm going to go ahead and just plan out tomorrow's post, and I'll try to do that the night before. Just kind of plan out, type out things in my notepad and save it, and then that way, which I'll talk about my schedule too, but that way when things are crazy busy and you have a second, you can just copy and paste it and go. Another thing that probably my last one that I didn't used to do, but now I do a lot, is turning on post notifications on both Instagram and Facebook. So Facebook, you have like your top 10 people that you really like, that you're really interacting with. You can put them up so it says see first. So they'll be the first things that you see on your feed, and you can go through there and like and comment and everything. And then the same with Instagram, you can turn on the post notifications on those people's profiles, and it will notify you each time they post a photo. So then you can go in there, like it, and comment it, and build that relationship that way. That's been really, really big I would say I've only probably done it for like the last month, but that's been really big. I've gotten a lot of interaction that way. So.
Perfect. All right. So with you working full time, do you have like a set schedule of your like posting schedule every day?
I'll try to do like once or twice at least once in the morning before I go to work. But once or twice, I normally try to get 2 in there. I'll try to do like 1 in the morning, maybe just something like motivational, inspiring, or something like that. And then normally the next one is like either like my ProFit or my greens or whatever I'm using that morning, my vitamins, whatever I decide to make it. And then I'll try to do like a pee break and post around 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then I'll do one at lunchtime, and then another pee break sometime in the middle before work. I always try to post before I leave work, though. That's one of my big things, is because I know once I get home, I am not going to have time to post until after I put my kids to bed. So I will always try to sit in the parking lot at work right when I leave and make a post. And then once I get home and walk in the door, it's go time with kids and dinner and everything else that I have to do. So that's biggest. And then I normally post and do all my other stuff after the kids go to bed. Perfect. So.
All right. Do you have words of wisdom for if you have somebody that joins your team and they say to you, I just don't have time to post? What do you say?
You do.
I honestly just tell them exactly what I do, what my schedule is, and I work somewhere where phones are not even allowed to be really in sight. So you can't like use the excuse that, oh, well, my boss is like, well, mine don't either. So
everybody has to pee, right?
Exactly. Everybody has to pee. Stick your phone in your pocket and go while you're peeing, make your post. And that's why I put them in a notepad and just copy and paste, because that I can do in 2 seconds while I'm going to the bathroom. So
perfect. Brittany does a great job. We talk about all the time on your post showing that you're a product of the product. If you want people to buy you and you want them to buy products from you, they want to know that you actually believe in the products and that you're using them. And she does an awesome job with that, showing every day that she's got her ProFit, she's got her greens when she's heading to work. So that's a huge tip for me for posting, is to show you using the products versus just a bottle of something sitting on a counter. My tips are very similar to Brittany's. Consistency, and excitement is huge for me. And just remember, I often hear people say to me, I feel bad posting several times a day about it works because I feel like I'm going to annoy people. Remember that only it's like 7 to 15% of the people you're friends with are seeing a post at any given time. That's why, sharing your story frequently is so crucial, because they might not have seen it Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but maybe you're going to catch that person on Thursday. So keep posting your story. That's what's going to draw people into your team, is sharing your story. Everybody has a story, no matter when you started. Talk about what you are looking forward to. Talk about what your dreams are. Share other people's success stories. There's a million stories of people on your teams. Talk about them. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. And my friend Brittany is building her dream home right now because It Works. Check out her story. That's something that doesn't, I don't have to have my own success story yet to talk about the successes in the business. Talk about the very small successes too. Most people are going to be more attracted to you and relate more to you when they see that, your wrapped cash paid for gas, or that it's picking up the tab for lunch, or it just bought diapers. Those are the things that people relate to. Sometimes when you're just talking about, oh my gosh, so-and-so is making $1 bazillion a year, they can't relate to that, and it doesn't seem achievable for most people. So make sure you're sharing the small things. Again, we talked about showing yourself in selfies, which we all love, don't we? I think that it's very important to remember to post. Think about who you're posting for. When you think about those people who are just going to get annoying or irritated with you, think about who you're posting for. You're not posting for those people that are going to be annoyed by you or not be happy for you. You don't need them anyway, okay? You're posting for the people that need this opportunity. You might be just the person that's going to give them an out, that's going to give them something that literally could save them from bankruptcy or losing their house. But you have to remember how often things happen in people's lives. I think it was Susan Wade talked about this. Her husband was up for this huge promotion, this huge pay raise for him. So in the meantime, she quit her job. Okay. Well, guess what happened? He didn't get it. Those are the people, there may be somebody that you're friends with that doesn't pay a bit of attention. They just kind of scroll past you, scroll past your post, big deal. Well, there she is talking about It Works again. But in 2 months from now, when they lose their job or their husband finds out that he lost his life insurance or his health insurance, guess who they're going to come to? Because you've been the one in their life every single day consistently. Regardless of what you're selling, I would go join the business with somebody that I see that's excited and consistent every day versus my kind of good friend over here that's kind of wishy-washy with it. That's key, because you never know what's going to happen. People often say, I don't know what to post. I'm having trouble figuring out what to post. I'm posting just like you are, or I'm using your post and I'm not getting the reaction you are. It's because you're not being you. Post for you, be you, and be genuine. Think about, and I talk about this all the time, but you got to kind of rewire your thinking sometimes. Be open and be, maybe it's going to sound ridiculous, but maybe, okay, you are driving down the road and you see this big, gorgeous tree, okay? So some people just be like, oh, that's kind of a pretty tree. Well, that kind of rewire your thinking, like, oh, wow, like that's, talk about the beauties of, your own time and being able to spend more time outdoors and, I don't know, whatever. But think about, constantly be thinking of how you can use something as, turn it around and use it as a post. You know, just be thoughtful and be different. Remember, if you joined because somebody was posting on Facebook, remember why that caught your attention. What made you join and do that? So I got to do. All right, that's good.
Okay. The rest of these, if you're speaking, we gotta go super fast. So, Alexa, you're on this next table. So. Okay. Okay, so Elisha and Mandy are going to talk about blitzing very quickly.
Yeah, real quick. First, super important. Don't just build relationships, because we always hear about that. Building relationships. Nurture the ones that you have, because that's how you ensure that your business stays strong, not just begins. When you get a distributor, great. When you get a customer, great. Make sure they know that you care about them. Otherwise, it's phony. I just wanted to hit on that. That was perfect. Don't just build in relationships. Grow them once you have them. That's how you build a strong business. Let's talk about blitzing. Go ahead.
Okay. So I know this is going to be talked about a little bit at the end, but I think a lot of blitzing has to do with your belief in the business. So really sit and think about it. And do you feel like right now, like if you had to go out and talk to 10 people about the business, would it seem a little bit awkward? Like you don't have to, you can head nod, whatever. Really think about it. And why is that? Why does it seem awkward? Now, really think about what you believe about the business. Do you believe this is a business that can change your life? Would you agree? Like you've seen people, they've had their lives change. If you were to get what you want, the $300, $500 extra dollars, would it be life changing for you? And then just step back and think about it. Think, do you know people out there, even in your network of friends, people that you meet every day? Go back to conversations you had at the grocery store last week. Were there people that were sharing reasons why they might need this business? I mean, you think about it. Women are open books. Men don't talk maybe as much when they're out and about. But if you run into a lady at Old Navy or Gymboree, there's a good chance that person is going to tell you in a natural conversation that, money's really tight, or they just spent $1 bazillion on soccer gear for their kid that's starting soccer in a week or two. So my whole point of this is don't miss those opportunities. If you can go out there and think about what you have is truly a gift, we believe in this opportunity. We know we have something great that can be really life-changing. You're going to have opportunities to blitz on social media, which that's going to be talked about in a few minutes. That's blitzing with messaging. But when you're out running your day-to-day, if you can take that in your day-to-day and make that work for your business, then you never have to make somebody feel like what they're doing is actual work. And they're spending a lot of time. So I always say, take your errand list, do it. Can you go down Walmart and chase people down an aisle to give them a blitz card? Yes. Have I done things like that before? Back 10 years ago, yes. I would scope somebody out and be like, I want her, and her, and I would find reasons to talk to them, but that's not natural and that's not genuine. And the biggest thing is when somebody leaves that conversation with you, they have to feel like you truly cared about them. And going back to Eli talking about relationships, this is a relationship business. If it weren't for the relationship, you can literally go talk to 100 people, and if they don't feel connected to you, you're not even going to get the 10% ratio. And you're going to get to a point where if you're genuinely building 10 relationships and conversation, then you could probably talk to 6 or 7 of them about the opportunity. So I think that whole belief is really big, though. Like if you don't believe in it, and if you're not confident, nobody's going to want to talk to you about what you have to offer, because they'll be like, gosh, she really didn't sound very confident about what she was telling me about. And also, I think words like I need, if you're thinking I need that person on my team, I really need her, she's going to be a runner, oh my gosh, I need this person, they're not, they sense that, and they're going to run the other way. So those are little subliminal things that you kind of have to figure out with yourself, but just don't miss those opportunities when you're out and about meeting people. Just strike up conversations. And if it's awkward right now, just tell yourself this week, I'm going to start 5 conversations every single day. And then just get to know people. I think that's it. Just chit chat, get to know them. Oh, how old are your kids? Where do you work? Oh, that's fine. Just truly engage. And if your brain's sitting there thinking oh, what am I going to say next? What am I going to say next? Then it's all this, then you just really need to say, hey, I'd love to tell you about this, but I have to say, be genuine. Listen for the clues. If somebody's saying they hate their job or they really wish they could go back part-time. Just keep building that relationship, because those are the times when you really want to say, oh, perfect, I have this great opportunity for you, right? But just keep talking, because there might be something even more when you peel back the layers of the onion. And I think some easy words to say, you're going to genuinely feel like you can help them. So it's, what if I can show you a way? So, you know, you always want to repeat somebody back what they said to you and say, like, hey, I heard you say things are really tight with childcare, so-and-so lost their job. What if I can show you a way where you can get that extra money from your phone? Would you want to hear more? And I don't ever want to, you know, tell somebody like, oh, you need to sign up, you know, or any words like that that might send them running the other direction. And even in messaging, like the words, would you want to hear more? Or I'd love to tell you about it so you can see what you think. And, you know, that makes them feel like the ball's in their court and they're not wanting to run the other direction from you or unfriending them. So once you get to that point, you know, schedule a time to talk to them, get them on Facebook, like whip your phone out, find them on Facebook, jot down the number, whatever it is. It's just super, super important. And it's not going to happen overnight where you're super comfortable, but be you, you know, be you, care about people, because the chances are you're in this room because you do care about people, and caring about people is the number one most important thing to me, because if you don't care about people, then this probably isn't a great fit for you. But that's what I have to say about Blitzing.
Absolutely. I think that's perfect. I honestly believe that Tristan and I's business really took off when it became less about us and more about everyone else. I really do. And we utilize that exact same philosophy when it comes to blitzing. If you're blitzing for your own personal gain, your blitz is going to suck. It really is, because they feel that it's phony. There's nothing to it. There's no substance to it. But if you blitz with the intention of helping that person and providing them with an amazing opportunity, then that blitz is going to go exactly how you want it to go. The other thing I get asked all the time, what do you say when you blitz? There is no script to what you say when you blitz. Blitzing is who you are. That's what blitzing is. I can't stand when somebody says, I'm going to teach you how to blitz. No, they're not. That means you're going to have to teach me how to run my entire personality. You can't do that. Just be who you are everywhere you go and make sure you're energetic, and that's a blitz in itself. Because even if they don't, I say this all the time, even if they don't want the products that I love so much, they want my life because I'm happy, and they're not. And that's how you go about blitzing properly. Just be who you are, and people will see that, and they'll want that. They'll be attracted to that. I have to say this one thing. One of my favorite guys in the world says it. You can have everything in this life that you want if you will only help enough other people get what they want. If it becomes all about you, you're not going to get it. You're just simply not. But if you're willing to put others in front of yourself, you're going to have anything that you want. So if you're not growing right now, maybe refocus where your focus is. If it's you, change it to others. And that's how you'll get it in return. Yeah?
Sure. Yep. It's really nice. Oh. Okay, we'll do Elsie. Carrie. Both of these ladies are bosses when it comes to getting loyal customers, so they're going to give us our tips.
Okay, and I'll start just really quickly.
Okay.
So I wrote some notes down. Something that I kind of did right away, like I feel like starting your business before, I mean, my kit was even there. Like I think I had 10 loyal customers before I ever even got my kit, because I went to my warm market right away. I put out that I had joined, and I put out, you know, my very first few posts, my very first night, and I talked to people all day long, but no one had like said, okay, I'm ready to buy. And I went to my sister and I was like, all right, I'm not ending my first night without a loyal customer. Like I want my last post of the night to be, yes, I got my first loyal customer. Do that. So she signed up. The bad thing is I didn't realize that the email didn't come through until like 3 hours later. So it's like 1 in the morning and I finally got my email. But I went ahead and posted about it like at 10 o'clock that night, and I just didn't attach the picture with it. But that was my final post on my first night was, yes, I'm ending my first night with It Works with a new loyal customer. I can't wait for her to try her greens. And I learned that from already looking at leaders, you know, what they had already posted. Like I didn't make that up. I went and I saw, okay, that's how they've done it. I'm going to do the same thing. The other thing was, same thing with my mom. She would have ordered that first night too. I just wasn't with her that night. And then it kind of got to the point where enough people were ordering, I kind of held her off because I was like, well, I'm going to wait and I can use you for something else, until finally she was like, I want these products, like, let me order. So I would say, obviously, right away, getting busy, and when people reach back to you, like those first few days where you're on fire and you're like, this is so amazing, and I try all these things, reach back out to those people right away, and just keep encouraging like the conversation. Eventually they'll want to buy because you're like, I can't wait for you to try this, and you tell me what you think. The other thing is, at the beginning, and even now, like making purposeful posts. Like I had never tried a product when I joined, but I knew what I liked when I saw Jessica's posts, like what made me stop and look. Like I actually, thought about that. So when I was posting, I made sure that if I talked to someone about Profit, then I was going to make a post about Profit. If I talked to someone about Stretch Mark Cream, then I was definitely going to be posting about Stretch Mark Cream. And posting about different products. I know, like now I know which ones I like, and so I have a hard time posting about ones that I don't really use because I like these ones so much. So I really have to make an effort now, making sure that I post about a bunch of different products. And I feel like that's how I've been able to get loyal customers.
Can I say?
Yes.
Okay, so husband's Ruby bonus. You
Yes.
had 2 empty boxes the
Yeah.
last day of the month. How did you go about getting 800 in volume in one day?
Well, I messaged a boatload of people. Like that was finally the first time where I realized I had talked to so many people who had not like committed. And it was like, all right, that's enough. Like, what am I going to do to get them to do it right now? So I did actually say, if you sign up, I will give you a free wrap. I put that out to several that I knew wanted to try the wraps that hadn't tried them yet. And I got like 4 doing that. I just posted a picture of me like, free wrap if you order today. And I sent that out. And then 2, like my sister-in-law had kind of been like, oh, I'll do it. And finally she said, I'll buy. I drove to her house. She had a new baby and I was like signing her up for her. And I just kept on it. Like I finally realized like that 100s list was super important on that day, because I went back to that 100s list and realized, oh my gosh, I've talked to these 30 people and they've never like committed to buying. So I reached right back out to those. And I had followed up with them in the past, but I think they felt my urgency on that day, where it was just like,
all right,
I need you. So that helped.
Thank you.
I have to tell a story real quick, because I signed 4 loyal customers between Thursday and Friday, and then I got atrocious messages. One said that they were canceling. She happened to be my cousin who I was closest to growing up, and it broke my heart. She said this was a scam. She wanted no part of it. Totally ruined me. The next morning, I got a post from someone else or a message from someone else who's incredibly close to me. And he said, you're selling out, you're doing videos now. This is taking over your life this much. I thought, other things meant more to you than this. So yesterday, I was like, I'm supposed to speak at this thing today. There is no way I'm going to speak at this and have any kind of effect. And what I would say is, it is a roller coaster. One day you're going to have 4 people sign up with you, then you're going to get the crappiest, because there's no other way to say it, messages from someone, people that are important to you, and then you're going to have to say, okay, what am I going to do? In fact, I messaged Rachel, who's my upline, and said, I don't know that I can do this. Am I supposed to quit? And she was like, are you crazy? Look at where you're at. And so then I rallied myself, and I signed a distributor today, and I signed another loyal. So, you have to stay in it, and you have to go to the person that makes you feel good about you and reconnect. So that's what I wanted to tell you before I gave you my tips. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Brittany, she gives great tips. Alyssa gives great tips. Trista and Jessica give great tips. And these are some of the tips that I got. Message, but ask. You have to ask somebody to be a customer to get them. It's not enough to say, oh, I love this business. We have great products. Will you be a customer? Will you try this product? 2 things that I have held off doing because I was scared to death, and I did it Thursday. That's why I got my loyals. I messaged 25 people. Guys, by nature, want to help you. It's the way they're made. Okay? I think if you have a guy that's a good friend, if you have guys you went to school with, if you have your brother's friends, whatever, message guys and say, I don't have many guy customers. I need somebody to try my products. Every guy I messaged replied to me. They may not have said yes, but they said, give me some examples. What could I do? You're engaging. They will eventually sign. I've signed 2 of them. I'm still engaging with the others in conversation. This makes me nervous. The other thing I did, which I have avoided doing, which was a recommendation of Alyssa. She said, after you message people and you don't hear back from them, don't let it go. One of the things that she suggested was saying, go back to them and say, I really enjoy watching posts about your family. I hope I have not offended you. They will reply. And then you begin dialogue, and then they'll sign. I had 2 sign from that. So I had 2 guys sign, and I had 2 girls sign. And I'm still engaging with some of those people. So those are just some of my tips. One of the other ones that I got a lot in June from was online wrap parties.
She had like 25 going on at one time.
I had 8 going, 8 or 10 going on at once. And I signed a ton of people from that. But I also got policed by Facebook. You have to make sure you have like 30 minutes between your posts. I got shut down for like 3 days. So you have to make sure you have time in between your posts. But you have to have the grit, and if you go after it, you'll go after it.
Yep. Yeah. Amen.
And 2, I was gonna say consistency, and I feel you guys have all kind of preached that too. But you know, if people wouldn't be reaching out 5 months in if I wasn't posting every single day.
And that, to follow up with that, that's one of the things. I got another message this morning which lit my fire, other than Rachel, to move forward. I had messaged a girl I went to high school with. We were not friends. I mean, we hung out in a group, but we're not close friends. And I said to her, or I had asked her to be a customer. She replied back to me and said, I love your enthusiasm. I love how successful you are. My daughter is doing the same thing. She is not finding success, but she does not promote the products the way you do, and she's not excited the way you are. So that fueled me too, to be like, okay, I am doing the right thing. I can do this. So when you get those positive things, you know, as a teacher, they say tuck cards away or whatever. Print those off. You know, put them in, jot them down on a piece of paper, tuck them away, because then when you have a bad day, you can pull them out and read them, and they make you feel better. Or go to somebody like Rachel who says something, you know, amazing to you, and then you dig back in.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing me by myself. I'll come sit with you. No, sit with you. Oh wow, it is very stuff straight. So I'm going to talk about why time frames don't matter. I think I'm the poster child for that. So I joined in April of last year, and I'm currently diamond. It took me exactly a year to go diamond, but I'm currently working on double, pretty close. But I'm going to talk about kind of what you don't see in the background. See a lot of people promoting all the time, especially when you first join. You think, oh, I'm going to join, I'm going to promote, and that is the case for a lot of people. And for some people, it doesn't go as quickly. So I went Ruby 2 months after I joined, and then I think 3 months after I hit Ruby, I was being paid as executive. So my entire chart crashed, and what sucked the most is that I was putting in all the work, and I was going to all the meetings. I was doing everything that I was learning in the meetings and on the calls, and I was messaging people and posting, and it wasn't, you know, going where I wanted it to go. So I remember messaging Trista, and I was like, we have to meet. This is like, I'm devastated. So we met at Starbucks, and we literally redid my entire chart. And it took me from, I think, September, October to February. And I went Emerald, and then 2 months later I went Diamond. But what is important about the fact that timeframes don't matter is that if you are doing the work behind the scenes, if you're posting, if you're following up with those potentials, if you are sharing your adventure, your story, the products, and you're going to meetings, just like this right here. Audra, you blew my mind with the product stuff. Like I don't understand all of that, and so I learned a lot. And like I just said, I've been in a year, and I learned so much today. And there are probably 15 people on my team that I wish were here today, and they're not. I hope that they watch it. But if you're not coming to the meetings and you're not watching them or doing the Zooms, you're not going to go very far, because you are not going to learn things like right here from all of us who have had struggles in certain areas, how we overcame that obstacle, or how we found a new way to message people. Just like Carrie just said a couple of things just now that I wrote down that I'm definitely going to use. But if you're struggling to get where you want to go, you're not going to learn how to do it if you don't invest the time. So that whole time that I was really, not going where I wanted to go, I was planting seeds, and that's what got me to Emerald, and that's what got me to Diamond. To the point of my notes that I'm not even following because I ramble and I'm terrible about that. But it's just the fact that you have to plant seeds even when it's not going as fast as you want it to. You don't have to post that you're sad that it's not going, so fake it till you make it. Fake it the whole time you're learning. I did that the whole time. No one ever knew. We just talked about this weekend when we met. I went to a meeting in December, and I was really, really in a negative place because I wasn't going anywhere. Like I was putting the time and it wasn't doing anything for my business. And it was the John Eric meeting, I think. And I went, and I didn't want to be there, and she knew it. Like I was just in a bad mood.
She was gonna quit. I knew it.
I had been at work all day, and I think it was like pouring down rain or snowing or something. I didn't want to go, but I went because I know that's what does well for your business. And I went. I remember going home and telling Cody, I'm so glad I went to that. Like I didn't want to go, and I went. And it's not easy. I mean, Brittany just had a baby, and she's here doing this. And if you want this business to change your life, it will. But you have to, if you haven't made any sacrifices, if you haven't been uncomfortable, you're not doing it right. It's not going to go anywhere if you haven't done that. And I was very uncomfortable posting for 6 or 7 months, not being successful and pretending like I was going to be successful, but I knew I was going to be. So I just kept posting. I just kept working it. So that's really my main thing is don't give up just because it's not going as fast as you want it to. Connect with your team because that's what's going to keep you going. I never waited on Trista to come to me and say, how are you doing? Are you okay? Like, I know you're not going as fast as you want. Like, I went to her. Like, we met several times to get a game plan going. I go to the meetings. I don't need someone to hold my hand to make sure I'm there. I do it myself because it's my business. And I very well could have given up. I could have given up several times, but just don't give up. Just keep going. All right, and I'm sick. Sorry. I love you, Lonnie.
Something I love, absolutely love, is most people overestimate what they can get done in a year, and they underestimate what they can get done in 10 years. Just remember that. It's super, super important. 1 year, it can change your life, but just because it didn't, doesn't mean it's not going to within the next 6 months. Don't underestimate the next 5 years.
The one thing that I want to say, like, if you're in a time where you're feeling down and things aren't going like you should, get to a meeting, get with your upline, get plugged into the team pages, just get plugged in, watch a YouTube training. Those are the times where you really need to do double of what you have been doing. Really, really pour into your business during those times because it will make you come out on the other side that much stronger. Do not take a break and walk away from it because all that momentum that you have built up and those seeds that you have planted, they're going to go to somebody else because you took time off and you took a break. So just don't do that. Who do we want to go? Elisha. Okay. We're going to wrap it up with you and Nick. Yeah.
Your wife?
I'm just teasing. I knew what I was talking about. What are we talking about?
Kind of.
Really, we're talking about, in my opinion, the most important aspect of the entire business. It's your motor. And your motor is your why. It's your reason for doing it. If it's not big enough, then reevaluate. Get one that's going to make your motor go, for sure. We get asked all of the time, what is the number one way to be successful in this business? And you're going to hear a lot of different things. But they all come back to one thing, and that's belief. If you don't believe that you can, stop. Because it really, you're wasting your time. And that's okay. You know, it's okay. It's not for everyone. But if you believe that you were made for more, then you certainly were. So if your why is not motivating you and it's not pushing you, get a new one. Because that is what will make your motor go. I will guarantee you that my why is my children. And there is not a person nor every one of you in this room that could stop me from doing something for my kids. If you don't have a why that is that important, get one today, and you'll sit where we sit for sure. The only difference between any of the people who have been quote unquote successful in this business is they believed and they didn't quit. That's really it. The business, you hear it all the time, is simple, but that doesn't mean that it's not hard. There's some times that you're going to go through things. There's been times that we've heard no. There's been times that we've had people message us those very same messages that were talked about earlier. Those can't be detractants. You just push right through those things. Success is not easy. If it was handed out, we'd all be in line. You have to go and get it. That's what you have to do. It's very, very simple. I wrote something. I'm going to read it at the end. I wrote something the other day, and I love writing. I love those types of things. But Nick, tell them a little bit about why the why is important in that type of thing.
Yeah, sure. As Eli said, the why should be your motor, your engine. It's what gets you up in the morning. It's what keeps your fuel fired up. The one thing too that I'd like to talk about real quick is your motivation besides your why for yourself. So if you could work with me here, how many people here think that we have the best products on the market? Okay, majority, right? How many people feel that we work for the best direct sales company out there, period?
We do work for that. That's the truth.
So everybody in the room, raise their hand. Now, you don't have to raise your hand on this one, okay? But if you raise your hand on both of those items, do you take that same energy and that same feeling to every single meeting, every single person that you meet with? Do you take that same passion, that same energy? I know we all do and don't sometimes. There's times in the morning, and Mandy, you're the same way, where every meeting you're not going to be on your game. You're not going to be 100%. But the one thing that we can do to totally change our business is take the positive energy and the positive feelings you have about the products that are life-changing and the company and the positive energy about the company that's life-changing. If you do those two things and pair that up with your why, you will be unstoppable. Unstoppable. So that's all I have. That covers the why and the two things that keep the motor going.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm gonna
see light.
It is good. I was just taking all that in.
Yeah.
It was really good. I was just processing.
No, that's good. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. Step up my game. I wrote this the other day, and I wasn't even going to end with this. We all have heard the old saying, you know, we've just got to work really hard, and we're going to make it. And yeah, everybody in this room wants it, but do you really want it? There's a difference in wanting the idea of being successful and changing the world, and really wanting it and really going after it. There's a big difference, and I'll tell you, the only one that I know of for sure, because I see it every day, that attacks it that way, it's sitting right there. She is sitting where she is because of how hard she works and how badly she wants it. I wrote this the other day. There's a cuss word in it, so I apologize if somebody's offended.
We're in church.
Yeah, that's okay. Because first and foremost, I love Jesus. Everybody in this room needs to know that. But I do not feel convicted about what I'm about to say. But this is just something that I wrote the other day, and I hope it impacts somebody. And if it doesn't, that's okay. It impacted me. We all know the old saying, when opportunity knocks.
right? And a lot of times we sit around and we wait on that opportunity to knock, and shame on us because it's not going to happen. I said, well, isn't that just warm, gooey, and wonderful to dream about? Here's how I actually prefer to approach the reality of who actually needs to be doing the knocking within the hunt of opportunity. This is our opportunity, right? That's what this is. We've hunted this opportunity. Opportunity in and of herself is pretty lazy, so we're going to refer to her as a her. Opportunity is a her. Seldom does she actually present herself to the person that awaits her shower of golden blessings. However, the castle that opportunity resides in is guarded by a fortified gate that is not always answered by her due to the sheer number of phony solicitors that dabble in her pursuit. We all have those solicitors that come to our door, and we don't really want to listen, right? I beg of you, do not wait on opportunity to knock. She probably never will. Go and knock on her door and knock loudly. If, and probably when, she doesn't answer, break that bitch's door down and pursue what you were created for, which is greatness. And that's really how we should go about it. It is, truly. Yeah, that's fine. But really, that's the mindset we should have. You know what I mean? We have an opportunity that's golden right here. Bust the door down and attack it like it can change your life, because it will. I tell Trista every morning, go after this, attack this like our life depends on it. Why? Because it does depend on it. And that's what we do. And it's not just for us. It's not about us at this point. It truly is about everyone else. There is nothing that makes us and any leader in this company more happy than when someone on their team achieves a goal. It is the coolest form of currency out there other than time. That was fantastic. Time is the coolest form of currency for sure. But helping other people lasts forever. It feels really, really good. We get to spend money. You can never spend that feeling you get when you get to help other people. So I know we're way over time. I would talk all night long, but I'll stop there.
I think.
Yep, no problem. No problem.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. So we're just gonna do the raffle. Okay. These were already separated. Right? Y'all separated these? Yeah. Okay.
Did you separate this, Carissa? Carissa kid.
Mabel. Okay, we'll draw it. Let's see. Who's next? Kathy Thomas. And Sharon Stewart. Okay. Now we have 3 baskets. Right, you want to pick? Everybody have their tickets? Okay. 3129183. Yay! You can pick which one you want. 3129149. Oh. Three, 129,196. Okay, and let's grab a picture before we leave.
Can I say something really fast that I forgot to say? Run, and work your business like crazy right now, and then go to conference, and those people that haven't joined you by the time you're at conference probably will while you're at conference. Brianna right here is my friend that Jess and I had both asked multiple times to join my team, and she politely declined every single time. And when did you join, Bri?
After I saw you guys sobbing at conference.
If you didn't hear, she said when she saw us sobbing at conference. When I was at conference, we were standing in our hotel room, and I got a text from Bri. She was like, wow, looks like you guys are having a great time at conference. Maybe we should talk. I literally darn near crapped my pants and told Jess, I was like, no way. And she is my strongest leg. She worked so hard. She is amazing. And she joined because we had been working our business. I've been planting seeds, and she saw us at conference doing amazing things. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Picture.
Well, you're going to have a baby.
You'll be crushing it out while you're
Probably the easiest.
What are we doing?
Is it from back there?
Chris is bringing your phone. Andy, take it with Chris's phone.
I don't know if I can.
You want to come up?
Here.
Are we standing?
I'm standing on a chair.
Right. See everybody.
Are you guys not getting up? Because if you're not, then we're getting down.
Oh, we're good.
Ready? Ready, stand up like once. Hold it down. Ready? Here we go. Everybody smile.
If it weren't for the tongue, that would have been a crappy picture. He kept it right on. I balanced him out.
See, that's what happened.
You did that. Nick, you know what you're doing.
I can't. I'm not steady enough. I always look like a jacket of stuff.
Look at this. This is live. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Stop it.
Look at his face.
Where's the tongue?
Okay, so I know.
They have to send me